Okay, so first thing first, we want to first load the resnet 50 that we're going to use. So yeah, so we're going to actually load the resnet 50, and we want a pre-trained model. So we are going to set the parameter here to true. Yes, now that we have our pre-trained model, let us actually freeze the weight so that we will only train the last stages of the neural network. So resnet 50, then I'll say parameters, and then I want to set the requires grad false. Yes, now after running it, now all the weights are frozen. So we want to get the in features of the fully connected layer of our resnet 50. So I'll just go to resnet 50, then I'll go to fully connected, then I get the in features. Yeah, so after getting the in features, so now we see that the in features to the fully connected layer is 2048. So with that in mind, let us now change the configuration of our final layer. So here I'll just say resnet 50.fully connected. Then I'll use sequential. Yeah, so sequential, then though it's already flattened, I guess. I think it's already flattened. I don't need to do that. So I'll take the features, then the output is a 64. So I've specified the in and out of that dense layer. Then after that, I want to use the Raoul activation function. Then after using the Raoul activation function, I want to add a dropout of 0.3. Then after adding the dropout, then I define, so it's linear layer again, Raoul and dropout. So let me just copy paste it. So here now the in features is now 64. So from 64 to 32. Then we have after the linear, we have a Raoul, then a dropout of 0.2. So dropout essentially is a regularization layer that actually changes the near zero weights to 0. So yeah, then that's a quick overview of what it does. Yeah, then after that we again go to the linear Raoul, and then we have now the last layer being linear. So this one is now from 32 to 10, then the Raoul activation function, then the linear is now from 10 to 1. So the linear layer of Torch, we actually specify the in and out, but for the TensorFlow, the in features you don't have to specify, so you specify the out. So essentially that's why in Torch, if you are essentially building a neural network, you have to calculate the number of parameters that are actually into a certain layer and out of it in order to manually set those values. So yeah, so after the manually changing the last layer of the configuration, so we can therefore see the layers and their changes. So yeah, so we have the layer, so we're getting the layer. We want to check whether we've changed it to trainable or not. That is if we've actually frozen the layers, so requires grad. Yeah, so we need to put the f string, allow for the, yeah, so we see it's false, and then onto the last one is where we have the trainable is true. So on the only the last part, so our ResNet 50 is where we have allowed for updating of the weights. So now let's actually get to view the trainable parameters over the total parameters. So we are using this function that has been defined, and if we run it now, see that trainable parameters is actually 133,557, and the total is 23 million. So 0.56% of the total parameters of our ResNet 50 would have its weight, would have 0.56% of the ResNet model will have updating weights. Yeah, essentially the weights are unfrozen. Yeah. So now that we are done with the model initialization and configuring the layer, we now go to the very last step, which is now model training, now using Pytorch.